Hello YouTube. So I've been meaning to update you guys on my moose leather heirloom bag, and life has gotten in the way, but a gentleman by the name of Tony on YouTube said I should do an update for you guys, so I am doing an update. This is my third video on this bag, my second update. I've done one pretty much every year. This one is about 4 months late, so this is the 2.5 year review of the bag. So, still looks amazing. I can't overstate how many compliments I get when I'm out with this bag. Men, women, no children yet, but that's coming, I'm sure. A lot of people asking about it. Where did I get it? What do I think of it? So, in the style and looker department, definitely gets an A+. It is still very, very supple, very nice. Leather doesn't seem to be cracking. I have used some honey conditioner and cleaner. Recommend that. I'll put the links to that in the description. I've used that about once a year or so, and it really helps clean this up and bring back out the natural colors. You'll see that there are scratches. I've talked about this before. This bag, like any leather product, is going to take on its own characteristics as it gets scuffed. Adds character, in my opinion. I've been traveling extensively this year. I've probably been traveling every week since early February. So this is a good indication, the way it's packed right now, of what goes into it when I take my trips. So you'll see that I have this expandable water bottle on the side. I lost mine. That's why this one's pink, because it's my wife's. But I put a little brass hook to hold onto stuff, and lanyard just to strap other stuff on. I don't think I talked about it in other reviews, but there are these nice little leather straps that you can use to hook things onto. So I've been making use of that. It's really nice. Helps me take my water bottle on the go with me, especially if I'm doing a Monday through Thursday trip and I want to have something where I can drink out of. So it is really full, and this is how I travel normally. I weighed it before doing this video, and it weighs about 15 pounds, fully loaded. I still love this bag. I really do. Every time I touch it, every time I open it, it still smells great. And like I said, I get tons of compliments on it. So functionally, it pretty much satisfies every itch I had for a bag, and it still continues to do so. So let me take stuff out. So normally carry some snacks with me. This is from last trip. That's why all the chocolate's melted, so let's ignore that. I'll put that there. I'm also taking my Switch console with me, so that comes out of the bag and stays at the hotel or whatever. Got my mouse, got my earbuds. One thing I'll say is that the leather really has softened up, so you can now really expand these compartments and get in there. And in fact, if you don't strap it, it kind of ends up being a little loose, which is great, right? So that's what these straps are for. Hold it tight when it's not needed or in use, and then once you open it, you can truly expand that. This little compartment, I've got all sorts of stuff. Chapstick, eye drops, these headphone tips, that there. Got my journals. Gonna make some more room here. So yeah, it carries so much, and honestly, I don't feel like it's lacking in that regard by any means. It is certainly filled to the gills now. I've got this little accessory pouch. Here's my USB, or I should say my power charger for my laptop. Other little things and doodads. This lanyard typically has my keys on it. Very useful. And of course I got those 2 pens. I've got additionally this little mini USB power charger thingy. And the laptop. One thing that's a pro of the leather softening up is that this back pouch is now much more expandable. I'll typically put some additional snacks in here. Some bars, for example. Pull that up. So yeah, the space is beyond compare, and certainly for the kind of week at a time traveler, it's great. Heirloom, or I should say leathershop.com, does make some larger bags. I don't have any need for it, but certainly if you want like an expedition type bag, they make them. So yeah, there's everything. So as you can see, it is just a huge bag from the perspective of being as sleek as possible and functional as possible. So that's all the good stuff. It's still a great bag. Love it, love it. Highly recommend it. I, wouldn't for a second hesitate to buy it again. That being said, there are some things that I'm starting to kind of, keep my eye on. I've told you in the past about the strap and the cracking. That has kind of stayed the same for the most part. But it's still something of concern. This new crack has started to kind of develop, so this one's one that I'm a little bit more concerned about because it does feel almost like the leather's a little disjointed here, which, would imply that maybe it's going to snap one day. So if I have anything to recommend to the leather shop, it's, maybe thicker strap, reinforced. Additionally, these little slots right here are supposed to be used to adjust the strap so that you can move it up or move it down. The problem lies in that what is holding it into that little slot is that tiny little nub right there. So if I try and move it up to a higher hole, you can kind of see the marks where the strap was adjusted in a different spot before. It just ends up sliding down. So some holes seem to take that little brass doodad, I don't know what you want to call it, little hook thing, better than others. Some they just slips right out. So that is also something that concerns me. The other thing would be the strap, or I should say the flap, right here where the actual buckle mechanism joins. It rubs, right? So as it should. It rubs every time you open and every time you close. And because of that, this part of the flap is a lot softer, which makes me believe that this might be a failure point as well. So this is the type of bag that I'd like to hold on to for 20, 30 years. Given how it is after 2.5, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to survive daily abuse. So maybe there could have been some sort of reinforcement here or some sort of non-leather protective thing. I don't know. But in any case, those are really the biggest gripes I have. As I stated, still highly recommend it. It has aged very, very well. I still expect this bag to last me a very long time. I am going to have to keep an eye on those little things and just make sure that I do maintenance. I may end up taking it to a leather shop around here to see if they can either help me with these or potentially even just contact the leather shop and see if they have maybe updated the design to address some of these issues, and maybe they can retrofit some of that. Don't know. But in any case, here it is after 2.5 years. Still loving it. Still great. I'll try and update you guys as this bag ages, and hopefully it ages like a fine wine and not like vinegar. All right, thanks.